Yes, to be part of this capitalistic system, it's quite exhausting. We're just here to survive. Nothing has changed for millions of years. We're all still trying to survive, except now we are just semi-civilized chimps with baseball caps and missiles and automatics and along those lines, compared to our ancestors who were just trying to find food, water, and shelter. Now we're trying to survive slave labor, to live a life that we did not ask for. However, we still have to make it worth it just to get by. Life is still a tragedy, isn't it? It's a beautiful tragedy that we all have to live. We have to work to pay our bills. We have to work to eat, to drink. We have to work to pay our electricity bill. We have to pay for housing, whether you have a mortgage or you're renting, or to pay for your children if you do have any. Then you have to pay for your hobbies if you even have money left over to even have hobbies. Then you have to pay for all of your other necessities. And then you can have fun, right? And then the list just goes on, whatever kind of bills you have and how you live your life. The earth gave us everything for free, but everything has turned into a commodity and for profit. Even this channel is some kind of commodity now, isn't it? You have to market yourself in some way, shape, or form. We're all just trying to survive here, and nothing has really changed. We're just floating on this blue and green pebble we call Earth, basically where resources are finite, but human labor seems to be infinite. If our labor is infinite, is that why people have become so cheap? It seems like everything is just getting more expensive while every single wage is just basically stagnant and has not gone on. What was the statistic? It hasn't gone up since like 2016 or something. And we're all still forced to pay for everything that's more expensive, and like property. Speaking of things going up, I had my property taxes went up this year, and I mean my mortgage went up by like $150, and I was like, what the hell? And I was looking at all the costs, and I was like, none of these even make sense. I'm like, are these even real things? So we're basically all still forced to grow up to work, and I don't know. It just doesn't really make sense to me. If our labor is infinite, is that why it's just so cheap? Just because we're all forced to grow up and, have children, which is basically what the system wants when so that's probably why there is an infinite source of labor, just because we keep popping out babies and pumping out a unit, I guess. I mean, this is what the system wants, though. It wants that infinite labor. That's why it likes using AI. Well, at least for a little while. I mean, I'm not really sure where the world is going to go, and we'll see where this whole AI thing goes. I know a lot of people don't really like it that much. I personally don't really like it, considering I like making music and art, and everyone expected AI to be taking like labor jobs or like doing the jobs that no one wants to do, maybe like saving time, like getting groceries or like cleaning or doing the jobs that no one wants to do, which it slowly is kind of doing that, like self checkouts are existing, and then like some things are like fast foods. However, I mean I do use self checkout, but I don't think it'd be a problem if I was going to use another one of those, if I had some kind of cashier like ring me out. I mean, personally, it'd make people more social, because I know when I go to the grocery store, I just put on earbuds and just go on and with my day. I don't really talk to anyone. So I don't know. I feel like they're convenient, but they're not necessary. If that's, I guess that's where I'm trying to go with all of this, because most of this stuff is just convenient, and it's not like most of this is not necessary. I mean, most things in life aren't necessary, but that's for another video. So, I mean, like wanting to work used to be a virtue, and now not wanting to work either means you're a bum or you're just not participating in the system. You're kind of like going against the grain, or you're trying to like find something else with purpose, or you just want the freedom. It's like people need to work to survive, but the system needs us to work for the system to survive. Weird how that works. Our labor is so cheap, however. If less people work, then shouldn't that mean that our wages should go up? Like based off like simple supply and demand, I would like to think it would, right? Plus, if people are deciding to not have kids and then there's less of us, then does that mean that our wages for when we work should go up? Because if there's less of us, there's going to be more need for work, is what I'm kind of assuming. And this is just some food for thought, so I have no idea. I mean, I know there's AI coming along too, so basically you don't even have to fucking pay for that at all or anything. What time is it? almost 2:30 a.m. I wrote the script around 2 a.m. and I was kind of just talking out of my ass, and I wanted to record a video. So I just wanted to get those like random thoughts, those random 2 a.m. thoughts out, which are either delusional or they're just brilliant. But anyways, kind of like what Joseph Stalin said, in the end, we're just a statistic. I know I'm paraphrasing this quote, but you know what I mean. I believe he was either talking about a war statistic or as a disease, but I don't remember which one. I'm assuming it was like a war. I forgot why he said that, which is unfortunate, but I don't know. To get back on topic, so the need for human labor will always be there, and there will always be a need for survival. So I do not see us ever not working, but only us trying to find different ways out. That's the purpose of like this channel and me trying to find out my other ways. And like I know what I want to do with my life. I don't ever want to work a corporate job again. And I can survive for a little bit. I know that. I'll probably have to go back to work, and I don't know when, but when the time comes, I'll go back to it when I need to. I mean, considering the job market is quite terrible right now and the rise of AI taking jobs, it does seem plausible that we will kind of be replaced, or maybe there will be less people working, but the wages will go up, but I'm not too sure. But then on the other hand, AI does make everything cheaper for free. And even though when I was at my last job, they were integrating AI, and not gonna lie, it was messing up a lot of our leads. And people were getting pissed because no one wants to talk to an automated system. Even when you're on the phone, even when you're texting it, no one wants to text it. So I don't know, we'll see what happens with that. That's just something I'd like to look more into as I keep making these videos. Then again, get back on topic. If we're going to talk about the earth like being overpopulated, or assuming it's overpopulated, I know my generation, I'm in Gen Z, and I know Gen Alpha too, and I'm assuming those generations to come don't really want kids. I know a lot of my friends don't want kids, as far as I know, but what you say and do is always going to be completely different, so we'll see. I know I don't want kids. It's just not something I really like. I don't know. It's not something I've ever looked forward to ever since I was like a teenager or something. I was never like, oh, I want kids. I want to get married. Like personally, I don't mind being alone. I've kind of always been a loner. And I mean, I still have friends. Personally, I've always had like a lot of friends, but not like a lot of close friends, if that makes sense. But I mean, the reason I don't really want kids, not necessarily for financial reasons. I mean, it kind of is. I do like spending on myself, but I also do like my time in solitude. And to be honest, I am kind of a selfish person. Like I like my shit. I don't really like giving to a lot of random people, but who knows? I'm still pretty young. I'm like 26, and I'll be 27 this year, but we'll see where it goes. However, I just know that like I know everything will be taken away from me once I have kids. So that's why I'm just like, I think I'm good. And like something I kind of learned is like I think my generation has looked at the bigger picture of what life really is and what it means to have purpose in life. And people are learning more about purpose and that there's more to life than just work, the nuclear family, and retirement. So I don't know. I guess it kind of just depends on who you are. Why does it take us so long to realize that we are people, not cheap labor? Have people always been feeling this way? Like, did the baby boomers ever feel this way? Or they're just like, oh, we need to have a family and all this other stuff? But I don't know. Then again, humans have been doing this to each other ever since we have existed. So maybe that's just our existence. And we were never really meant to like love each other or whatever that hippy dippy stuff is. And then maybe we'll never find a new way to live life. I think the only thing that we can do is survive.